Hey everybody, Ted Saporn from Smith Mountain Lake. I'm going to talk today about a subject that does create a lot of confusion for people that are shopping at the lake for a home, and even among some real estate professionals, believe it or not. And the topic is renting your Smith Mountain Lake home is like an Airbnb, short-term rentals. Many people are very confused about the different rules for doing that, and it's an important topic because if you're looking for a home at Smith Mountain Lake that you can rent, like as an Airbnb, only about 50% of the homes at the lake, actually probably a little bit less than 50%, are allowed to be rented short-term. The other ones are not. And so, which homes can you rent? Which ones can you not? Where are they? What are the rules? I'm going to cover all of that today. And if you stick with me, at the end of the video, you'll know more than 95% of prospective buyers that come to the lake easily. And that'll obviously make you a more knowledgeable buyer and a more astute one as well, just by knowing what the rules are. So this is current as of February 2024 when I'm recording this. Laws can change, but they really don't so much with rentals. So I'm going to go ahead and go through everything here, and if you have questions at the end, of course, just let me know. So the main thing that determines whether you can rent a home short-term are the county rules and ordinances, the county laws. Now there are 3 counties that touch Smith Mountain Lake. They are Bedford County, Franklin County, and Pittsylvania County. So Pittsylvania is like Pennsylvania, but just Pitts instead of Penn, Pittsylvania. So if you're looking at a map of Smith Mountain Lake, just to give you an idea of where these counties are, you're looking at a map of Smith Mountain Lake. The right side of the lake is going to be Bedford County. The left side is Franklin County, and Pittsylvania is just a very small sliver of the lake down in the Pinhook area. So it's actually pretty simple to know where you are once you understand that. The dividing line between Bedford County and Franklin runs right down the center of the lake. So it's just that side of the lake is Bedford, that side of the lake is Franklin. Okay, so again, the county rules are the main determining factor. So 3 counties, I'm going to cover all of them, and I'm going to go ahead and knock out the first 2 really quick, really simply. And those 2 counties are going to be Bedford County and Pennsylvania. Both of those counties allow short-term rentals across the board. Okay, so it doesn't matter what kind of home you have. You could have a beat-up old single-wide trailer. You could have a 15,000 square foot mansion. Doesn't matter. The counties say you can rent your home short-term in those 2 counties. Okay, so let's go to the 3rd county, Franklin County. That's where it's a little bit more complicated and can get a little bit more confusing. Now, some people have the mistaken idea, oh, you can't rent in Franklin County. That's absolutely not the case. You can rent in Franklin County. You just have to have the proper zoning code for your home. So at Smith Mountain Lake in Franklin County, if you want to rent short term, the zoning code that you need is RPD. That stands for Residential Planned Development. Pretty simple. So if you have RPD zoning in Franklin County, you can rent short term. There are plenty of homes with that zoning that are rented as Airbnbs and so forth. Now, what types of homes have RPD zoning? Not all of them, of course. So RPD zoning does comprise pretty much all of the condos and townhomes in Franklin County. So if you see a condo in Franklin County, you can pretty much rest assured that it will be rentable. Now there is another factor that I'm going to get to in just a couple of minutes that does impact whether you can rent. But the county says that you can with RPD zoning. Now in Franklin County, again, mostly condos and townhomes, but there are some houses that also have this RPD zoning. Not in abundance, let's just call it like a handful. But you do have a handful of waterfront houses, just regular single family homes, detached waterfront houses that have that RPD zoning, and those can be rented short term as well. In Franklin County, there's actually a second option, and that's going to be if your home has A1 zoning. That stands for Agricultural 1. And actually a lot of homes have that zoning. So if you have A1 zoning in Franklin County, you can apply for what's called a special use permit. If you're granted that permit, you can rent your A1 zoned home short term. Now that's a 2 to 3 month process. There are a couple of public hearings where neighbors can come and complain saying they don't want any short term rentals in their neighborhood, whatever. And in the end, it's voted on by the zoning board. And that's, I believe, 5 elected officials, and they vote. So you never know up front whether you're going to get it. It does come down to those folks voting. So those are the county rules. Now there is another factor, and that's if the house is in an area where there's an association, like homeowners association, HOA. We actually call them POA here, property owners association. Exact same thing, just a different name. So if the POA has a bylaw prohibiting short-term rentals, then you can't do it. You're not breaking a county law, but you're going to run afoul of the HOA. Now, there's some good news about that. Actually, 2 pieces of good news. One is probably 40 to 50% of homes at the lake do not have a POA. One doesn't exist. There's no association at all. And where there are POAs, it's very rare for a POA to have a bylaw prohibiting short-term rentals where they are allowed by the county. Now, there are a couple of condo communities at the lake where the POA will restrict rentals to at least a 7-day rental. So you can rent 7 days, 8 days, 9, whatever. You just can't rent under 7 days. A little bit of a restriction, and that's a POA thing. It's not a county thing. So that's really pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and summarize here with the whiteboard and just cover that again. So again, Bedford and Pittsylvania County, they allow short-term rentals across the board. You're not going to have a problem there. Franklin County, you need RPD zoning, and you have an option if you have A1 zoning. And what can override the county rules are the POA association bylaws, but again, that's very rare for that to be a problem. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. Hopefully that's helpful. Again, any questions from me, let me know. But just knowing these simple rules puts you ahead of 95% of the buyers at the lake. And I hate to say it, but even some realtors as well. That maybe are just not that familiar with the area. But if you know this, you're ahead of the game and you're a more astute buyer. So again, thanks for joining me today. Any questions, just reach out to me. I'm happy to address them. And see you on the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.